Get breaking news alerts straight to your phone with the KTVO mobile app.
Coming up on KTVO News at 6:30, the 2026 state legislative session kicks off today. What goals are for a City of Bridges representative? Plus, more than 15 million cases of the flu this season, according to the CDC. Why health experts warn the case numbers may continue to grow. Southeast Iowa's own evening news starts right now. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Trey Wiggins in for Elizabeth Shores. Our top story at 6:30, Iowa's 2026 legislative session kicked off today, and two of the biggest issues lawmakers will deal with this session are education funding and the state budget. Both those have to be done before lawmakers can wrap up. Per pupil education funding is supposed to be passed within 30 days of when Governor Kim Reynolds announces her budget proposal. However, that's a self-imposed deadline, and there is no penalty if that doesn't happen, but it does make it harder on schools to budget for the next year. The state budget is one of the last issues lawmakers will address, and this year could present some challenges. Projections show Iowa's revenue is decreasing, and as a result, legislators may have to dip into reserve funds to balance the budget. Republican State House Representative Hans Wills shared his top priorities for the 2026 session. The Ottumwa native says making Iowa a more affordable place to live is one of those goals. He says addressing property tax policy and daily living costs like electric utility prices are two particular aspects he's focusing on. He also wants to find ways to make healthcare services more accessible and affordable, citing Iowa's rate of cancer cases, the second highest in the U.S., and the state's issues with radon exposure. Wills says that includes finding ways to implement clean energy sources like nuclear that could help address both rising living costs and common health risks Iowans face. Most of all, though, he says increasing transparency on how federal and state dollars are spent can help increase how efficiently that money is being spent.
But I think people need to be knowledgeable before they make decisions. So transparency in taxes, I think, is probably utmost, no matter what. And affordability, whether it be your energy, your healthcare, and accessibility, are some of the priorities that are happening right now, but we continue to work.
When we spoke with Wills, he confirmed his plans to run for re-election.
Every intention to move forward. I think there's still things we can do. I think having a voice, such as myself, at the Capitol has been beneficial, and a positive voice. And so I want to continue that momentum and continue to help Southeast Iowa as we continue to grow Iowa.
Iowa's legislative session kicked off today in Des Moines. Iowa State Senator Renee Hardman is now the first black woman in the state Senate. The Des Moines Democrat was sworn in at the start of the 2026 legislative session today. Senator Hardman was elected in a special election in December following the October death of Senator Claire Kelsey, a Democrat. That election was certified just before the session began by the State Board of Canvass. Big news for Ottumwa Bulldogs. The high school announced 3 new head coaches in their spring and summer athletics program. They are Rich Mason for the girls track and field, Aaron Ruff for the boys soccer program, and in the summer, the baseball program will have former assistant coach Joey Mitchell as their head coach. Sports anchor AJ Johnson has a breakdown of their career history coming up in sports. Monroe County Sheriff's Office partners with Iowa Department of Revenue to educate local retailers and to enforce Iowa's tobacco, alternative nicotine, and vapor product laws. The iPledge program places emphasis on retailer training. Clerks who successfully complete an online training course, then pass an exam, will become iPledge certified. This allows a retail establishment to use an affirmative defense against a civil penalty if the certified clerk makes an illegal sale. Flu cases are high across the country. The CDC estimates there have been more than 15 million cases this season. It's the worst season for respiratory illnesses since at least the late 1990s. And many healthcare professionals warn the number of cases is likely to climb. Jen Sullivan is tracking the latest data tonight.
Each night, toys are sanitized as employees at this daycare center in Des Moines, Iowa, try and fight off germs as flu cases in their area surge.
We mop the infant room floor twice every night, once with just warm water and once with the sanitation.
Nicole Scatino-Talley is the director of the Angeli Cristiani Child Development Center. Some of the children here are infants and aren't eligible for the flu vaccine yet. It's recommended for 6 months and older. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says children under the age of 2 are at a particularly high risk of developing serious complications from the flu, which is why employees here are taking extra precautions. But this is a nationwide problem. Flu cases across the country have skyrocketed, topping an estimated 15 million. This map from the CDC shows multiple states experiencing high or very high levels of the flu. Roughly 180,000 people have been hospitalized and 7,400 have died. Most of the cases are from a severe strand of influenza A known as subclade K.
This subclade K, which is a new strain that probably is not included in the current vaccine.
Many healthcare professionals are worried cases will continue to rise.
The flu vaccine absolutely prevents severe illness, prevents hospitalizations.
The CDC estimates 130 million doses of the vaccine have been distributed nationwide this season, but that covers less than 40% of the U.S. population. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
And just ahead tonight, how a Hawkeye State student is tackling food insecurity. A look at his thoughtful gesture when we come back.